but Trap has been rising through the ranks here of the Korean region, of the Korean scene, has been getting better and better results, and is one of the big favorites for this group. Oh boy. And we'll see how he compares to a player of the caliber of Oliveira. And if you're in the chat, predictions. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on how you believe this series will unfold. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of side Delta, we have our Chinese Terran player, the blue Terran representing Weibo Gaming. It is Oliveira. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Gen G Esports. It is Trap. We go. Lablin versus Gombo. Oh no. All the names, they're merging together, Pat. They're merging together. SCV pool again. True. As a reminder, Oliveira did nothing but 2 base all-ins earlier in the day in the broadcast. I'm curious though, does he do that? Does he attempt that against Trap? Reality is Trap is a bit of a higher caliber Protoss, so I don't know if it's wise to rely on that too often in this series. I do expect to see it at least once. I do expect at least, once to see Oliveira embrace a 2 base all-in, but I don't know if we're going to see it more than that. Even if it works. Meanwhile, this isn't the best map for it either. We're loading into Side Delta. One of the big features of this map, of course, is the ramp coming into the natural, so this does create a much more defendable location, much more difficult to really embrace an all-in and try to push up and try to break the Protoss. So we'll see how Oliveira does approach this, as it is going to be an economic opener. Single gas. It's going to be a Rax expand out of Oliveira. To be fair, we did see this same opener every game previously, even though it did eventually lead into that all-in in Oliveira's series against Goblin. Did see the Rax expand every single game. Meanwhile, the probe does race back home. Meanwhile, the Reaper on the hunt, looking for that worker, looking for that probe. But the probe will make it back. Likewise, you have our tech of choice going for a Twilight Council opener. Reaper does poke in. But the depth is in position, and the Reaper is going to be zoned away. Doesn't quite commit up the ramp, or up the cliff. And Trap is going to be going for his Blink-based opener. I'm assuming Blink. I mean, technically, this could be something crazy, like a DT opener or something of the sort. But I imagine Trap is going to be calming things down a little bit with Blink. Back at home, we do have our 1-1-1. Okay, for the first time here tonight, Oliveira is not setting up for a 2 base all-in. This is going to be a 1-1-1 opener, setting up for some drop play. Let's go. As a reminder, the tell of the previous builds that Oliveira was going for was the 2nd and 3rd racks before the starport. That was the tell. Here with a 1-1-1 opener, again, should be setting up for some drop play, or maybe something a little bit different. That is a fast tech lab on that factory. And I'm curious if we're going to be opening up Banshee. Banshee builds have been quite popular as of late over the past couple of months, or maybe just really this year, 2024. Yeah, there's the add-on swap. And Tank Banshee specifically has been quite trendy amongst the Korean Terrans. The European Terrans picked up on it as well. And my apologies, I assumed it was going to be Tank Banshee, but no, it is going to be instead Raven. Okay, we have Indifference Matrix on the way, Raven on the way as well. So we are setting up and settling in. But again, I just appreciate that, again, Oliveira, he's showing us a wider berth of play. Not relying on the same build all the time. We are better than that. And as we're settling into our TVP, a shout out in the chat, Fappy. Oh my god, to Air Orange. Thank you so much, Fappy, for resubscribing. A long-time supporter of the channel for 32 months. That's a lot of months, Papi. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Gracias, Papi. Gracias. Big shout out, Air Orange. Oh, as we are settling in. What do you see behind this? Oliveira going to be working towards Stim. Meanwhile, Trap, when it came to his build of choice, did go for a fast 3rd. It was just 2 gate blink into a 3rd base. Very economic opener out of Trap. is embracing a faster third and taking up towards the Templar Archives. Are we going towards Storm? Let's go. Most players would embrace something like Colossus production, and we do have our charge on the way, so it could just be Charge or Archon. We'll keep an eye on that tech structure. See if we do embrace Storm. Meanwhile, Trap rotating over towards the main. No tank in position. And we will be able to pick away at these Marines, threatening the Raven as well. As Trap does commit in, boys being pulled, we do slap the Raven. Raven does go down. Big pickup. The Raven does fall. That means the disable, the Interference Matrix was a wasted upgrade, not coming into play. But it is going to cost us most of these Stalkers, if not all. Oof. Yeah, one Stalker does survive. Looking at the trades, that was 5 Stalkers for 4 Marines and a Raven. That was a costly trade. You could argue that it was worth it just because the Raven holds so much value, but with all those dead Stalkers, that means our ground army is that much weaker. We barely have a standing army to begin with. Meanwhile, Storm is indeed on the way. Is going to be our splash damage of choice. High Templar already morphed in, gathering energy for those storms. We're getting ready for the bio push. But again, our army, our ground army for Trap is going to be that much smaller. We shut down the Observer. Is going to be cleaned up. Oliveira not going for an all-in. Third CC's on the way. We are expanding, but Trap does not know. Trap is in the dark. As Oliveira is setting up for a mine drop, Observer does confirm. Trap is aware. And Trap is getting in position. Stalkers do rotate over. At the same time, Oliveira moving out on the right-hand side. Going to be pressuring that third base. So a bit of a multi-pronged attack here from Oliveira. Will delay the fourth. Does take down the probe. Probe does fall. Oliveira, he's spotted by the worker and by the Zealot as well, so he doesn't quite commit. Mine drop is in position. We boost in, but the Stalkers are ready. And we shut down the Metamac. Oh, I spoke too soon. What do I say? Ooh, a chaotic split. 6 probes go down. We still have 1 more mine left. And we drop into the main. And Trap. Oh no! Late reaction. 11 probe kills. Oh my god. Well worth it for Oliveira. And the Metamac does survive. I spoke too soon. Oh! Metamac runs into the Stalkers. At least that does go down, but still worth it here for Oliveira. Gets 11 workers, does scout the tech, does confirm the storm, is aware, and now we're pushing. Oliveira is moving out, taking his third base alongside it, taking up into Ghosts. Ghost production on the way, and the mine drops, they continue! Widowmine does burrow in. Ooh, does barely not go up. Oh, the Widowmine takes down the Observer. The Observer gets sniped with a scan, which means the mine survives. We should be able to... Yeah, we have a backup Observer. We're okay. But a cheeky move there by Oliveira. Sniping the Observer of all things. We're getting cheeky, Pappy. As Trap is now moving out. He's had enough defending. It's time to attack. We have 3 High Templar in that prism, each with at least 1 storm. Bear that in mind. Trap is moving out. Oliveira back at home, has Ghosts. We have to rely on the EMPs. The army is spotted. The army is spotted. We do get 1 EMP on the Gateway army. But here come the storms. Oh, EMP a little bit too late. 1 storm does connect. 2nd storm as well. And we have 1 storm left. Meanwhile, the Zealots, they peel off. They catch reinforcements. They go for the main. They drag back the army. Getting a Ghost, but they will be cleaned up. And Oliveira, he keeps up with the main army as well, going for the High Templar. Now the storm does connect, but connects mainly with Marauders. And nice juggling. We save the Marauders. Oliveira does hold his own. His army is battered and bruised, but it survived. That's what's important. Oliveira does preserve his army. 4th base getting up and running. But with that defense, now Oliveira can move out. Now Oliveira, the pendulum does swing from one player to the other. Trap getting ready for the move out. Once Oliveira pushes, Trap is going to go in with the Zealot run by. Oh, but he lost all of his High Templar, and we have 3 High Templar left. They're gathering energy as we speak. Colossus are on the way. No extended thermal lands. They do not have range. Not yet. It is on the way. Oliveira going for a split push. His army is spotted by the Zealots. Trap is aware, he rotates over. At the same time, another push towards the top. Trap has to spread out his army, has to split. Keeps the Colossus here at his third. Has a storm here towards the south. Oliveira is aware. And it looks like he's going to be caught out. Decent EMP. Does he go for the Colossus? Alright, it's tempting. Dust him in. Takes a storm to the face. Takes another storm as well. And he does not get the Colossus. At the same time, Zealots, they hit the natural. We spoke about it. Once Oliveira moves out, the Zealots, they move in. They get 10 SCVs. Not a bad run by it. Well worth it for Trap. It's 10 workers. Catches reinforcements. Whew. And we have a back and forth. Trappy holds onto the fourth base. Oliveira takes his own. And we're settling in. Calming things down. We have a back and forth. Accento Malance is finishing up. We're getting into Colossus Storm. How many High Templar left? One High Templar remaining. But 4 more on the way. So plenty of storms are going to be ready. Trap is taking a 5th base, and Oliveira should be investing into more Vikings. There we go, getting into his Bio Ghost Viking production. Once again, they're going to be heavily reliant on the positioning of the Vikings and on the EMPs, but Oliveira, he misses the move out. Oliveira out of position. Trap is pushing in. Oliveira does respond. But again, it's going to take a while to rotate over. The base is under fire. Yeah, we're going for the 4th base. SCVs are going down. Oliveira was not ready for this. And the planetary will fall. Massive storm as well. Is forced to recall. Does catch both Colossus though. Not a bad fight out of Oliveira, but he lost the base. He lost the base. GG gets called. He trades too poorly as well. And Trap will take game number 1. Whew. GG. One wrong move is sometimes all it takes. Again, Oliveira, he was down towards the south. He was getting ready for his own move out, and he was caught with his pants down. He lost a mineral line, lost a base. May have gotten the Colossus towards the end, but still was not the trade he was hoping for. And Trap takes the lead. Oh. Trap does take a lead. And now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go as we are setting up for our lobby. Setting up for our game. We are jumping in. Whew. Let's go. And I'm hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping for a back and forth series here, but the pressure is now on Oliveira to bring it back here against Trap. As we're loading in to Oceanborn. We are going to be loading in and spawning in the bottom right hand corner. We have our Chinese Terran player, the blue Terran representing Weibo Gaming. It is Oliveira. And spawning in the top left hand corner, leading the series 1-0, representing Gen G Esports. South Korean Protoss. It is Trap. We go. And again, I do appreciate here that we had a back and forth game as well. It's very intense. A very intense back and forth between Oliveira and Trap. Both players being very active, both players having their own strengths and weaknesses and having their own edges in that game, while swinging from one player to the other. Very high octane. Now we're settling into game 2. And we'll see where this takes us. We shall see. As for now, we do see Oliveira going for an economic opener, going for a Rax expand as one gas has been taken. Again, Oliveira has been going for this kind of start here every game so far, at least in these TVPs here tonight. Not really embracing double gas play. Not yet, at least. Also, I will set up an alias. Hold on. I haven't noticed. There we go. Did notice for the player intros that it wasn't showing Trap's team. So I'm on it. I'm on it. We'll fix that up. so his team should be showing for future games. Meanwhile, we are going to be taking our expansion on the low ground, as we did mention. Just an economic opener out of Oliveira. So he does move out, checking for any proxies, any hidden probes. Look for anything that Trap could be up to. Meanwhile, Trap didn't even go for a probe scout. No scout whatsoever, not concerned with what Oliveira is up to. We can see, oh, let's go. This should look familiar to you if you're in the chat. If you were here for Oliveira series versus Goblin, what do we see? Factory, and we see a very fast second racks as well. We're going to be working towards Stim. This is the beginnings of a 2-base all-in setup. I say the beginnings because this can still lead into a longer game with a starport into a third CC. But what I can say with confidence, this is an aggressive setup here by Oliveira. Very aggressive. Has the potential to become an all-in. Especially if we throw down a third racks. Throw down a third racks as well. Keep an eye on him. For now, it is now on Trap to figure out what's going on. Going for a Twilight Council opener into Blink. Another gate's on the way. And there it is. There is the third racks. Third racks is in production. Tech Lab as well for Stim. This is the same opener that Oliveira went for every game against Goblin. Oh boy. I mean, I feel a little bit sad just because I really liked game one. Like, game one was really intense. Really back and forth. But we'll see. We'll see if Trap can piece this all together and how he does open up. For now, it's going to be Blink. We do have our 2-gate setup. Now, I'm concerned because it looks like Trap is going for a third Nexus. Yeah, he's going 2-gate Blink into a third base. This is ideal for the Terran, as Trap is going for a safer economic opener. I don't know if I want to even say safe, but a really economic opener here by Trap. Going for the third Nexus. Does mean that Trap has how much less to work with, how much less map control as well. And how many less Stalkers. And back at home, Oliveira is building up. Tanks are on the way, Stim about to finish. Still building up his force. Trap should soon be moving out, and thankfully is going for a hallucination scout. Very important. If Trap can get into the main base, he can get an eye on all the production, on the setup, and get ready. NG base on the way, that's going to be for +1. Ooh, the scout is denied. I mean, the hallucination does confirm the army position at least, and the composition as well. Trap is somewhat aware of what Oliveira is working with. Thankfully, safety immortals on the way. Stalkers are being active. And likewise, the Observer also dipping in. But here comes the move out from Oliveira. As he moves out, boys are being pulled. Can we catch a tank? Oh, tank is under fire. And the repairs are up just in time. We save the tank. The tank lives. Oliveira catching out some of these Stalkers, and we're pushing. We're going for the move out. And back at home, we have shield batteries on the way as quickly as possible. We do have one shield battery at the third, one shield battery at the natural. Trap has the high ground, and he can try to focus down those tanks. Is going for the tank, and it looks like he will get one. One tank goes down. Massive pickoff. Back at home, starport. Yeah, Oliveira, he's working on the next step. He's working on +1, working on the starport. Getting ready for the next wave, and once again, the tank gets targeted down. Oh my god, the pickoffs! Trap, he gets both tanks and the Cyclone, and just like that, Oliveira has to back off. That's the push. It falls on its face. Oliveira has nothing left here to really sustain his army. He has to retreat back home, and Trap holds. Trap does hold on. Very impressive stuff there out of Trap, sniping both tanks and the Cyclone. Now the question becomes, we've seen this before. We've seen something very similar here, where if the first push fails, I think was it game 2 between Oliveira and Goblin, or was it game 1? When Goblin sniped both tanks and Oliveira backed off and just went for a second all-in. Regardless, that happened previously and it could happen again. As the Stalkers, they do manage to blink away. Nice control. Trading as efficiently as possible. We go for the add-on swap, Medevacs are on the way. What's interesting to me is that we never started +1. That's what's interesting. I assumed that we were going to be hitting a +1 timing when we pull the boys, but yeah, no upgrade whatsoever. Instead, going for Medevacs. Here comes the second wave, the second push across the map. At the same time, the army is spotted. We do catch the observer. This will slow Oliveira down. This trap does drag the army out. Likewise, moving our results, and here we go. We pull the boys. It is going to be the secondary 2-base all-in, but the boys are being called out. Trap does confirm, does catch the SCVs, and a Marauder as well. But back at home, what do we have? Shield batteries. Sorry, we have shield batteries. We have force fields as well. We have force fields available. We can try to wall this up. We can wall this off. At the same time, Stalkers, they're coming in from behind. Force fields are thrown down. Overcharge is popped, but the shield battery gets targeted. Tanks are sieging up, and here come those Immortals. They focus on the first tank, and they focus on the second. Both tanks go down, and now here come the Stalkers. Yeah, we completely surround the army, and Oliveira, he gets shut down. GG gets called a very clean defense, and Trap takes the 2-0. GG. Very impressive defense there out of Trap to be able to shut down the initial push, to focus on both tanks early on. That was wild when he was able to catch both tanks with his Stalkers, and with that, Oliveira had to back off. He fell back on a secondary all-in, but again, Trap had eyes on everything. He was playing it safe. He had shield batteries back at home as well, had the overcharge, had force fields, was able to shut that down and have a beautiful defense. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Trap will take the series. And that is going to be Trap's first win on the board. Let's go. With that, we're going to have a look at the rest of the group here, as that we're halfway done. We're halfway through the group. And I might have to input some of these updates here. Yeah. Going to have to update this. One moment. As we do set things up. Huh. There we go. But we have our first half done now. Again, we did have a walkover between Trap and Arch that did occur. Did have that initial walkover, but outside of that, we played out our series, we played out our matches. You can see here that Lambo took down Art 2-0, Oliveira took down Goblin 2-0 as well, and then we had a more of a back and forth. Lambo versus Goblin went to the ace match. I appreciate that Goblin was able to fight back against Lambo and have a back and forth, and then of course Trap with his own win as well against Oliveira. Again, Trap in good standing, Oliveira in the middle of the pack, and Lambo leading the charge. I mean, I guess technically Trap is ahead of Lambo just because it was a walkover and a 2-0. Lambo did drop a map, but so far Trap and Lambo at the top of the standings. As a reminder, this is a round robin group stage, and we're now halfway done. And we're getting ready for the other half. Here we go, scrolling on over. Bam, we have our next set of matches. We have Goblin versus Art in a PvP, followed by Lambo versus Oliveira, Trap versus Goblin in another PvP, and then we end the night with Lambo versus Trap. Unfortunately, there was another walkover here. Art was unable to schedule his matches with Oliveira. So Oliveira, he gets a walkover over Art as well. So Art wasn't able to play against Oliveira or against Trap. That's why those matches aren't going to be played out. But we have 4 more best of 3s ahead of us. Until then, though, now that we're halfway through, we're going to be going on a short break. I'm going to refill my water. It's empty, as you can see. There's nothing here. I'm going to refill my water bottle. I'm going to quickly take a moment here, take a break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes with the second half, with the remainder of Group C. See you soon.